Sonoma County is well regarded nationally and even internationally with all of the program work that you've done over the years for energy and sustainability. So before we kind of get into this, why don't you give us just kind of a brief overview of where you are right now?
So I think the big thing to say about where we are now is that we work together in Sonoma County. What we do is collaborate, and it's been a journey to get there. It's a process. We have one of the oldest PACE programs in the nation operating in Sonoma County. Our water agency is very close, if not actually having achieved carbon-free water. We also recently implemented community choice aggregation in Sonoma County with Sonoma Clean Power. And we're actually working on a community-wide climate action planning effort in Sonoma County, Climate Action 2020.
You mentioned it's a journey. It's been a journey to get to where you are. So kind of where did that journey start, Liz?
So the beginning really is just people doing what they do best, just trying to take care of the land and trying to take care of Sonoma County and appreciate the natural beauty that we have here. So one of the things that's come out of the journey of our efforts in Sonoma County is really appreciating we're pretty small. We're a small county.
Right.
And we really have to be efficient with our resources, our dollars. We became aware that we wanted to not duplicate effort and that we really needed to become aware of people's core competencies. We had to become aware of organizational core competencies. So the evolution of that really became a strategic planning approach as it just organically evolved into, oh, these are the components of strategic planning. Now let's be conscious about that, because we already know that to be successful, we have to strategically coordinate and we had to collaborate.
What was the galvanizing agent for this collaboration in Sonoma County?
For any team, any effort, any operation, to have really clear goals and to really understand your local culture and what's important to you is absolutely essential. And so the environmental goals and values that the people in Sonoma County have around the land it fits hand in glove with addressing climate change. It fits hand in glove with saving energy. Other communities, the effort would be the same actions, but the motivation, the goal, the value might come from a different place in the people's hearts.
Right.
So it's really understanding what are your values in your community that really is going to connect with them so that everybody can be successful and coordinate together in the same direction. And I think if we know what the priorities are, what the goals are, and we can strategically address that, it applies for everyone.
You know, we do, I think, a whole host of different approaches to strategic planning, and the creation of the RCPA is the culmination of, I think, our most comprehensive effort to date related to strategic planning, and that is primarily that we got all local governments together within the county with our regional partners and highlighted what we needed to do to reduce GHG emissions and develop some plans around that with our mission goals and objectives, unifying all of the local jurisdictions and our regional partners.
Something that Liz mentioned that resonated with me was in that there has been an organic sort of evolution towards shared strategic planning, where we all are very clear in defining what our mission is, what our goals are, and what our core competencies are, and how those overlap or how those intersect, and how we can use our shared capacities in a really aligned fashion rather than overlapping fashion.
So what are the steps that a community needs to take in terms of developing a strategic plan? How do you develop a strategic plan?
The elements of strategic planning start with those community values.
Okay.
Really, for a program, for a community effort, it's always important to know what motivates the heart of people. So the values. a second component of that is really the organization that's working on an issue or a problem is really understanding your reason for being. What's your enduring purpose? Why are you there?
Got it.
To really have that clearly defined, and what are the edges of that purpose? What do you actually have control over? When you achieve your goals, what will the future look like?
Got
Being
it.
able to clearly articulate that. And then the final component of the mission, developing your mission, is knowing those audacious goals that you're setting for yourself, and being able to have them be clear, articulate, measurable, time-bounded goals of what it is you're trying to achieve. And then there are just the main part of the strategic planning process that I think there are kind of two invaluable components. One
Okay.
is the conversation. It's not so much creating a document or a piece of paper. It's having the conversation with the community, with your team members, with your partners, with your stakeholders. So everybody is on the same place, on the same page. Everybody knows where you're going and what their role is in that, day in and day out when they come to work. What's my part of this? How do I fit in? What am I contributing?
So it's a reinforcement. It's that conversation is not a conversation that you have just one time and then don't revisit it. It's
Absolutely.
a constant conversation.
It is. It's a dialogue. It's an evolution. It's a path.
Okay.
The strategic plan, the reason you do a strategic planning process is that will help you make decisions. If you have an opportunity for a grant
Sure.
or a new program,
Right.
a new idea, and it's real easy to get excited and say, well, we could do that, or what
Uh-huh.
about this?
Sure.
And we have to go back to our strategic perspective. Who's got the core competency in that first?
Uh-huh.
Is it a water issue? Is it a transportation issue? So really, who has the skill and expertise to evaluate a concept, a
Right.
technology, or an idea? If I'm going to put that into the list, what's going to fall off the bottom?
Right.
We can do anything, but we can't do everything.
Right.
So again, the strategic plan gives you the tools you need to be able to make those decisions.
It's amazing to be able to work collaboratively in any form or fashion. I truly believe in collaboration work. It does have its challenges. It requires a little more time, obviously planning involved, and a lot of communication. The strategic planning process that we put together with the division was really comprehensive as far as it involved the entire staff on several levels in putting it together, and got input from everybody within the division. So in doing that, it really created a concrete understanding, I think, with everybody in the staff, understanding just exactly what the division does, what our capabilities are, and then as we move forward and look at potential new ventures or ideas coming forward, if that's something that really fits within our core competencies and it aligns with what the division is really trying to achieve, or if that's something that needs to move forward to another agency or a different department, nonprofit, et cetera, and how can we then leverage our core competencies to help them out. The end result that you get when you collaborate is much more fulfilling, much more comprehensive, and hopefully more streamlined, to eliminate the duplicity that can happen when you've got different agencies that are crossing the lines and doing similar things but not identical. And the fact that we can work together here in the county and streamline some of that process hopefully is making it easier for the community, the constituents, residents, homeowners, etc.
So really, I think today and what we're doing here is part of what we want to have happen next. Is we want to help. We want to help you ask the questions you need to ask yourself and your community to understand what your values are, so that you can pick the right mix of programs and design strategically your relationships and your initiatives so that you can reach your goals.
So it's going to be basically the same process, but the programs may look different. And they'll be
Exactly.
customized to the specific locality where they're at.
Exactly.
Okay. That's really clear. Thank you, Liz.
You're welcome.